For that, at least 10 suspected fighters have been killed by defense and security forces, and a huge quantity of weapons, ammunition, and other gadgets are seized from fighters operating in Mago village, Akwaya subdivision in Manu division of the restive southwest region of Cameroon. The raid took place recently that led to the death of those Ambazonia separatist fighters who are operating in that part of the country. We take you to Bafoussam to talk about what has happened there. A woman in Bafoussam arrested for allegedly throwing baby into toilet after birth. And digging further, the 32-year-old lady that the newspaper got the name as Raisa Mukoy has been arrested in Bafoussam Mifi division of the West region. She is being accused of allegedly giving birth to a child and throwing it into a pit toilet. Get full details on what happened. We are getting further information that she appeared before the State Council this morning in Bafoussam, chief town of the West region of Cameroon. Let's now talk other issues. This time around, we are with the Ultimate newspaper. The Ultimate is presenting to us the situation of some 52 villages in Kupe Mwanengoba division of the Southwest region. Inside and out of 52 villages that have never had a motorable route, writes the Ultimate newspaper. Most inhabitants in these villages say they have never seen a car except for planes and other aircrafts which they spot from time to time in the air. Get full details on what the population of these 52 villages are saying regarding the nature of their route in that part of the country. Still in this edition of the Ultimate newspaper, we talk development in Bangen. This time around, we are talking about what the mayor has done. Bangen deputy mayor rescues worker who consumed a deadly substance in that part of the country. We end this morning with the Eagle's Eyes newspaper. The Eagle's Eyes this morning is focusing on what an honorable member of parliament has done in his area of command. Honorable Fanja gives bountifully to Douala for Muslim community. Digging further on the honorable member of parliament, as we are reading, Honorable Fanja Gabriel was recently re-elected as president of the Education, Vocational Training and the Youth Commission of the National Assembly. He noted to pressmen recently that his kind gesture to the Muslim community of his constituency was his own way to thank God for his re-election and many other good things that have happened to him of recent. He provided a total of 20 bags of rice of 50 kilograms and 20 boxes of oil of 900 milliliters and 20 boxes of sugar that were distributed to the Muslim faithfuls who are currently observing fasting in that part of the country. Thank you so much, televiewers of My Media Prime Television, for staying tuned this morning. We are back in the studio to continue with our discussions while we await the arrival of Barrister Tamfu Richard, who is a human rights lawyer, and of course he will be with us this morning, as well as our colleague of the Yaoundé Bureau. We are talking about Boh Elvis. We are told by the technician that he is already on the line. Boh Elvis, good morning and welcome.
Good morning, Lasha, Christain. Good morning, Quentin, Etape. Quite a great pleasure for me to be part of your show this morning.
How is Yaoundé this morning?
Yaoundé is okay. Places are somehow cold, but I would say Yaoundé is quite okay this morning.
Okay, you were in or at the Senate yesterday, and of course the third legislature for the Upper House of Parliament opened yesterday with the eldest member of the Senate calling on his peers to foster development and of course decentralization. How did it happen yesterday?
Of course, yesterday it was the session as of right of the Senate, which brought together the 70 elected senators who were recently elected by the municipal and regional councillors, and also to the 30 appointed senators that were recently appointed by the head of state, President Paul Biya. It was an opportunity for them to come together, get to know themselves, and do some kind of formalities for them to be recognized as senators of the Republic, because, as you know, as of now, they have not yet received their attributes. And so this session, as of right, chaired by the member of the Senate, former Minister Rene Zengele, who was assisted by the two young members of the Senate. It's an opportunity for them to, it was an opportunity for him to talk about decentralization and call on the senators to be responsible in carrying out their functions in the Republic. So that's how it all happened. And I think the senators were somehow excited. There was a lot of excitement around the Yaoundé Conference Senate, Yaoundé Conference Center, which hosts the headquarters of the Senate as of now, with many senators happy to see each other, with some of them granting interviews and expressing their thanks. Expressing their thanks to the ruling party for endorsing them for election.
Yes, Boh Elvis, new Senate, new targets. What are the new targets that await these new senators? As we all know, they represent the collectivity or territorial collectivity or decentralized territorial collectivity, as we can put it. So what is the new target for them? What are they supposed to do that their predecessors did not do?
Yeah, of course, that is what they're supposed to do. What they're supposed to do is they're supposed to be the voice of the people. The senators and members of parliament are the people's representatives, which means that they're supposed to vote laws that are beneficial to the man on the street. Being the voice of the voiceless, that is their role in their society. Controlling government action, calling the government to order, and of course to appreciating when they need to appreciate. At the time when the executive bench seems to forget some of the priorities of the population, the senators need to come out as one voice to decry issues related to corruption, decry issues related to human rights abuse, as well as caution the government about what needs to be done for peace to reign in the country, or caution the government about what they are supposed to do which has not been done. For instance, the insecurity which is going on in the country right now, and vote laws that are beneficial to the population.
Ok, Etape.
Voilà, Boh Elvis, bonjour une fois de plus. On va embrayer sur d'autres sujets d'actualité. Pendant que la couverture santé universelle, première phase, sera lancée à l'est du Cameroun en ce jour, eh bien, est-ce que la population camerounaise est bien aguerrie sur la signification de CSU ou bien de la couverture santé universelle au Cameroun? Est-ce que la population aujourd'hui sait ce que c'est la couverture santé universelle au Cameroun? Vous êtes journaliste, il faut le rappeler.
I don't know, are you talking about the universal?
Yes, Elvis, yes.
Because I didn't.
Etape,
His microphone is not quite good, so
yes,
what is he talking about?
Yes, as per the communique that was signed by the communication unit, or that came from the communication unit of the Ministry of Public Health of Cameroon, it indicated that universal health coverage, that the ministry is embarking on that project, and it will be launched in the east region of the country today. Etape was asking if the population really understand what is meant by universal health coverage.
Oh, thank you. I think that is something which the population does not really seem to understand, because as you know, according to the World Health Organization, universal health coverage is first of all about ensuring that the population have access to preventive care. It also has to ensure that the population has access to palliative as well as rehabilitative and health promoting services that are needed by the population, especially the vulnerable population. And we talk about the vulnerable population, we're talking about those that are less than 5 years of age. We also think about those that are undergoing dialysis, as well as people that are suffering from HIV/AIDS, people that are suffering from HIV/AIDS and tuberculosis. So That is what the Minister of Health is in Beja to do to ensure that Cameroonians are informed about this universal health coverage. The main objective has been so far to conduct reflections on the situation of essential services and care in Cameroon, and also to evaluate the conditions of access of households to the said care, to determine the share of the households in these responsibilities. I don't think the population in Cameroon seem to be quite aware or informed about universal health coverage, and that is why the communication service of the
Oh, we lost Boh Elvis there. We're hoping that he comes back while we still await the arrival of Barrister Tamfu, human rights lawyer, to be with us on the set. Etape, and he was trying to explain to us what universal health coverage. Before we come back to that, let's talk what is actually happening in some communities in the northwest and southwest, where Fulani herdsmen are coming from Nigeria to attack communities. And the Guardian Post newspaper this morning is saying that apparently the government of Cameroon is silent over what the Nigerian herdsmen, the Fulanis, are doing in some communities in the northwest and southwest. We saw the mayor of Akko in Ndonga Mountain Division of the northwest crying out for help a few days ago.
Bien, c'est une aberration lorsqu'on entend ce genre d'informations qui nous renseigne que les personnes sollicitent l'appel ou bien l'assistance du gouvernement pour éradiquer l'insécurité sur le terrain. Et moi, je pense que c'est une fonction régalienne de la part de l'État. Il y a
plusieurs villages dans les régions du nord-ouest et sud-ouest. Les villages proches du Nigeria, que ces hommes armés-là entrent, ils détruisent les champs, ils tuent la population. Il y a certains maires qui ont lancé l'appel au gouvernement. Jusqu'à aujourd'hui, rien n'a fait.
Rien n'est fait. Oui.
The Guardian Post newspaper.
Mais The Guardian newspaper, c'est une source d'information fiable. On ne peut pas douter de ce que ce journal qui est respecté au Cameroun peut nous annoncer comme information. Eh bien, je continue à dire que c'est une aberration. Je suis même très écœuré de recevoir cette nouvelle. Comment comprendre que la fonction régalienne qui est la sécurité des citoyens n'est pas assumée convenablement par qui de droit, par l'État.
Eh bien, le gouvernement, c'est comme le gouvernement sous-estime. The government is underestimating what is happening in those communities in the northwest and southwest.
Non, mais écoutez,
the government is not taking it seriously.
C'est tout simplement un fait déplorable. Parce que si on se dit qu'on doit accorder une attention à une frange de la population en détresse en matière de sécurité et que de l'autre côté on ne fait pas la même chose, là il y a déséquilibre dans une façon de gouverner. Eh bien, je pense que des personnes qui sont attaquées par des étrangers venus du Nigeria, ces étrangers qui sèment la panique et la terreur, détruisent les champs, tuent des personnes, détruisent des maisons. Je pense que ça devrait faire mal au gouvernement au point où ce dernier devrait mettre des mesures en place pour effectivement prendre contrôle sur la situation, quitte à ce que la sécurité, la paix reviennent dans cette partie du pays.
Boh Elvis is back. Elvis, before you went off, we're talking about universal health coverage, what it means, whether the population understand what it means by universal health coverage. I want you to end on that rapidly before we get into the worries of the Guardian Post newspaper this morning, talking about Nigerian herdsmen who are attacking communities in the northwest and southwest regions, and apparently the government has gone mute on the issue. We heard the cries of the mayor of Akko sub-division, the mayor in that locality in Akko sub-division, crying out for help. Elvis, are you there?
Yes, I'm there. Of course, talking about the the attacks are being witnessed in border communities with Nigeria. I think that is something that has really been ongoing, and we don't seem to understand why the government is mute on these issues. We don't know whether probably they are doing something in the background which we are not aware. But if they were doing, I'm not sure the media would have been picking up the story. I think it's something very, very critical, which now affects trans-border insecurity at the time when the country is witnessing internal security, and this internal insecurity which has extended now to our borders. I think it's really a call for the government to take swift action on these issues, which calls on this calls for the attention of the Minister of Defense, the calls for the attention of the National General, the Delegate General for National Security, as well as the intelligence services of the military, which is SEMIN, and the intelligence service, which is the course, which has no intelligence unit that is in charge of ensuring that both in the country and those are borders. The government needs to take swift action on this issue by dispatching teams there and by improving intelligence collection around the borders to ensure that such insecurity should be reduced, and those behind such acts brought to book.
Yes, like I earlier mentioned, that the government has gone mute as per what the Guardian Post newspaper is telling us. Have you been able to hear from any or place any calls to any of those governments or institutions?
No, I haven't.
That you made mention.
I've not been following up deeply this whole story. I think I tried to call the mayor of Akko to get more information, but probably he didn't pick his phone. I'm going to try to get to him again to try to get more information about this. But from what the Guardian Post is reporting, they have authoritative sources on the ground as far as this cross-border insecurity is concerned. I think it's something that should really be taken seriously to ensure that Cameroonians who are already going through a lot when it comes to insecurity within their nation should not be faced with this other threat that is coming in from people whose agenda we don't really seem to understand, because we don't really seem to understand the hidden agenda of these people. And this is something that the government needs to look into and take appropriate measures to ensure that the perpetrators of such acts are brought to book.
Okay, and this is coming to add to what the population, the realities of the population of the northwest and southwest regions of Cameroon, the Fulanis coming in now to add to the Ambazonia, the Anglophone crisis, is really quite heavy on the common man over there in the northwest and southwest regions of Cameroon, especially those border communities.
Yeah, it's something that that our senators need to look into. What is already happening in the conflict zones of Cameroon, the northwest and southwest, with this other trans-border insecurity going on too, coming in to join to the conflict. I think it's really a very difficult situation for the population to bear, because where are they going to rush to at the time when the government is trying to carry out reconstruction and trying to preach peace in those areas, at the time when the population is already suffering from a situation where they find themselves in between the devil and the deep blue sea, and this other issue is coming in again. It's just something too difficult for them to bear, knowing too that most of those affected by the conflict in the northwest and southwest, most of them also rush to Nigeria, while others rush to this other part of the country. So if they are already facing stress from that area, where would they rush to? That is really something that the government needs to look into. And I think the population of that area, the population of Akko, can really do something on this, because since they are at the border, if they can work with the intelligence services and try to see what they can do, I mean, working with the chiefs, working with those that are at the borders, working with those that transact businesses from one area to the next, especially in that specific area.
Yes.
In that light, to bring back peace to that community.
Yes, Boh, let me take you to the ultimate newspaper this morning. Very shocking revelation there. by the Ultimate newspaper. In Kupe Mwanenguba division, inside and out of 52 villages that have never had a motorable route, we are in 2023, and of course most inhabitants of these villages, as per what the newspaper is saying, they say they have never seen a car except for planes and other aircrafts which they spot from time to time in the air. Does it mean that there are no elites from that part of the country? We are talking about 52 villages.
Of course, this shows that the government needs to sit up. Not only the government needs to sit up, but we also need people of Maninguba need to call their elites to order, especially to their people's representatives, to tell them to present these issues to government. I think when people are elected into parliament or appointed or elected into the Senate by the head of state, it is their role not only to thank the head of state about the appointment, but it is their role to remind the head of state that thank you for appointing me, but please, we don't have roads in Maninguba, because we cannot imagine that with all the resources that the country has, at the time when going through a very, very difficult situation, the crisis situation, that they are unable to have roads, which makes it very difficult for them to transport their goods from the farms to the market. It makes it very difficult for development to occur. So these are some of the issues that are supposed to be handled by Parliament. And if we have people in Parliament who are just there to represent their stomachs, these kind of things, these kind of problems will hardly be solved. Because at the end of the day, if those representing their people just go to look at opportunities that concern them, concern their immediate family, their girlfriends, it's going to be very, very difficult for the people to have what really belongs to them. So that is why we need members of parliament, that as well as the Senate.
21st century.
To go and thank those that are.
We're in the 21st century, and we're reading such kind of news in the 21st century that people have never seen a car. They have never seen a car. Elvis? Apparently, we have lost Elvis again. Etape, on était en train de parler du 52 villages. 52 villages, oui. Coupé Maninguba, là où il n'y a pas de route. Les habitants n'ont jamais vu la voiture. La voiture. C'est possible, ça? Oh là là. C'est possible? C'est malheureusement la triste réalité au Cameroun de savoir aujourd'hui que... Mais tu n'es pas loin de oui, je ne suis pas loin du... On parle de 52 villages. Je tiens à te rappeler que il y a une route qui devrait passer dans cette zone-là, qui relie Melon, qui est l'arrondissement, et le département Coupé Maninguba, qui aujourd'hui reste connu sur les papiers et croîtrait dans les bureaux de nos gouvernants. C'est une route qui devrait passer, si je me rappelle bien, en 2018. Jusqu'aujourd'hui, la route n'est pas là. Mais toujours est-il qu'on voit quelques initiatives de démarrage du chantier. Malheureusement, le chantier n'aboutit pas. On ne comprend pas ce qui ne va pas, la lenteur des travaux. Et bien même quand la route est déjà faite, je vous donne une information. Lorsque vous quittez de Douala pour Melon, vous prenez la route en allant vers Mouangel, Mboissoum. La route, on a fait un semblant de route. Maintenant, après quelques temps, ou bien quelques 3 mois seulement, la route est devenue dégradée extrêmement. Si bien qu'on ne peut plus utiliser cette voie-là pour effectuer les déplacements dans la zone de Mboissoum, dans la zone de Ndokou, dans la zone des autres villages qui sont voisins au Coupé Maninguba. Il y a une voie actuellement. Quand on parlait du village, ils n'ont jamais eu. Actuellement, il y a une voie de contournement
qui sert de mobilité aux usagers de ce coin-là. Donc Mbourkou étant donc développé, c'est un village qui est desservi en matière de route. C'est le village de Samuel-les-Bois, souvenez-vous de l'ancien ministre Etape Massoma. Ces élites ont quand même pu mettre en place des infrastructures routières pouvant servir de mobilité. Alors, c'est là la voie de contournement pour atteindre ces villages-là. Maintenant, c'est encore très déplorable lorsqu'on sait aujourd'hui que certains villages n'ont pas la possibilité de découvrir ce que c'est que la voiture, parce que quoi, la route ne passe pas là-bas. On se pose la question à un moment donné, si effectivement il n'y a pas d'élite dans ces zones-là. On parle là de 52 villages. 52 villages, c'est très alarmant.
Ces élites-là, ils rentrent, ils passent comment pour arriver? Ils viennent garer leur voiture.
C'est la question qu'on se pose tout de même. Généralement, quand il y a des événements, notamment les deuils, les funérailles, d'autres événements de grande envergure, des élites sont coincées. La majorité s'aventure pour passer avec le véhicule, mais c'est avec beaucoup d'embûches, beaucoup de souffrances. Parfois, les véhicules sont coincés dans les nids d'éléphants, jonchés de boue, etc., des piscines olympiques qui sont créées au milieu de la chaussée. Alors, c'est tout simplement déplorable que ces élites qui sont supposées faire quelque chose pour leur localité ne font rien, souffrent en même temps que ces paysans.
When you talk about the elites, what about the councils? Councils that are managing the resources generated in those villages. What are the councils doing? Are you saying that they've not had money to even do an earth route?
On ne peut pas tirer de telles conclusions. On ne peut pas dire que les municipalités n'ont pas de quoi, n'est-ce pas, entretenir la population dans ce sens-là. Les populations payent les impôts. Mais on se pose la question, où va cet argent qui devrait servir?
How do these people take their products even to the market?
Mais c'est un chemin de grands combattants.
They cultivate plantains and a lot of tubers.
Le coupé Maningoba, Monsieur Lasha, est une zone où l'agriculture est pratiquée. Les paysans parfois sont embêtés parce que ils n'ont pas la possibilité d'écouler leurs marchandises. Un grand bassin de production de plantains, de bananes, de café, de cacao. Parfois, on se retrouve dans une situation où ces denrées alimentaires pourrissent parce qu'il n'y a pas moyen de les écouler. Et quand bien même des personnes venues d'ailleurs, des villes comme Douala, Yaoundé, Bafoussam, pour faire des achats, mais c'est au prix de rien comprendre ces marchandises. C'est déplorable, c'est alarmant. C'est la souffrance des populations qui est comme ça passée sous silence. Et il faut que le gouvernement fasse quelque chose. C'est très important. On ne doit pas tout simplement venir charmer l'électorat ou bien prononcer des discours avec des belles paroles et puis après on ne voit pas le travail sur le terrain.
Est-ce qu'il y a l'argent pour faire?
Non, mais c'est pas une question. C'est pas.
We know that councils, even the councils that are in the area, all the councils in Cameroon, they give them 15%.
C'est pas une question d'argent.
15% do build routes? What can 15% build
bon,
routes?
Nous sommes à l'ère de l'implémentation de la décentralisation. Non, on déplore également les 15% qui sont attribués aux collectivités territoriales décentralisées. Je pense que le travail que doit amorcer, n'est-ce pas, le Sénat version 2023, c'est également de réfléchir sur ce pan afin d'outiller convenablement les communes pour que ces dernières puissent, n'est-ce pas, se prendre en charge en matière de développement infrastructurel. Les routes sont à entretenir. Les populations ont besoin de l'eau à boire. Les populations ont besoin de se soigner. Les populations ont besoin de l'électricité. Voilà autant de problèmes qu'il faut résoudre. Alors, il ne s'agit pas seulement d'aller applaudir au Sénat ou bien comme à l'Assemblée nationale dans les discours vides de sens, parce qu'on cherche à être maintenu à ce poste juste pour protéger ses intérêts. Peut-être c'est le lieu d'attirer leur attention sur cette tribune afin que ces derniers puissent prendre leurs responsabilités en main. Et puis voilà la population qui sera prise en compte dans les prochains jours.
Okay, so many ministers, former ministers coming from there. Professor Elvis Ngole is from Kupe Maninguba.
Voilà.
He's now heading the CBDM training center in Yaoundé. So many other Ngole Philip Ngwese, most of them, those are the
Côte
people.
d'Ivoire, le colonel.
Yes, well, most of them, they come from that area. So it's just a crowd, the population, that they should look into the situation of their area, the Kupe Maninguba division. Notwithstanding Etape, before we go, let's talk about this lady who has finally appeared before the State Council to answer to what she did. She put to bed a baby and decided to dump that baby into a big toilet. The lady in Bafusam, she was arrested recently, as per what we are reading. And this morning, she appeared before the State Council in Bafusam. What do you have to say to that? You conceive a baby, kept the baby for 9 months. When you put to bed, you decide now to throw the baby.
À un moment donné, on se pose la question si les êtres humains sont souvent conscients de ce qu'ils posent comme acte sur terre. Comment comprendre qu'une femme supporte une grossesse pendant 9 mois, après avoir mis l'enfant au monde, se décide simplement, sans avoir peur, sans avoir la crainte de Dieu, d'aller déposer l'être humain dans les toilettes?
Mais la femme, quand on a vu les images, la femme a dit que son mari l'avait abandonnée.
Non, mais là, ce n'est pas
une raison. Le mari
aussi
a dit qu'il n'était pas, il n'était pas au courant que la femme était enceinte.
Oui.
So, there are a lot of controversies.
Il n'y a pas de raison qui peut expliquer ce qui se passe dans ce côté du pays. Il n'y a pas de raison valable. L'enfant est venu au monde. De toutes les façons, je ne voudrais pas me faire passer pour pasteur, mais je voudrais faire comprendre à ceux qui nous écoutent que
d'ailleurs tu es habillé comme le pasteur ce matin, mais tu peux assumer ces fonctions-là.
Merci. En tout cas, ce n'est pas une mauvaise fonction, même si je l'assume, c'est une grâce. Eh bien, rien n'est pour rien sur cette terre. Même si vous êtes sorti d'un acte de viol, même si l'enfant a été conçu à l'issue d'un acte de viol, cet enfant a une destinée. Cet enfant a un programme que Dieu a prévu pour lui, pour sa survie, pour son bien-être et bien pour le bien-être également de son entourage. Il est hors de question qu'une femme mette l'enfant au monde, quelles que soient les raisons qui l'accablent, quelle que soit...
La femme va aller en prison, le mari...
Non, mais naturellement, nous sommes dans une...
Le mari alors?
Nous sommes dans un pays...
La femme est en train d'accuser le mari qu'il l'a abandonné.
Oui.
Il est parti, il l'a abandonné. Pourtant, le mari dit qu'il n'était pas au courant que la femme était enceinte. Et maintenant, on veut punir la femme et on laisse le mari.
Comment comprendre qu'il n'était pas au courant durant 9 mois? Ou bien, qu'est-ce qu'il veut dire là? Qu'est-ce qu'il veut expliquer? Est-il sûr de ce qu'il dit? Pendant 9 mois, vous n'êtes pas au courant que votre femme, parce que quand on parle de femme, ça veut dire que c'est dans une situation maritale. Ça veut dire que vous êtes légalement marié. Ou bien je me trompe?
Mais quand la femme dit abandonner, peut-être il ne vivait plus dans une même maison. Maybe they were not still living in the same house. Or what? We are still to get details.
De toutes les façons, on aura mieux fait si on accentue l'enquête sur cette histoire pour justement maîtriser les tenants et les aboutissants.
Mais pourtant, le bébé est porté bien. The
Le
child
bébé,
is well.
le bébé, oui.
The life has been saved. We thank God for the life of the,
Justement,
the baby.
vous comprenez donc les miracles du Seigneur. Le Seigneur est tout simplement merveilleux. Sinon, on n'aura pas à vivre ce moment aussi qui nous démontre que l'enfant, après avoir été trempé dans les WC, vous connaissez la réalité du WC. Sinon, ce ne sont que je n'ai plus de mots pour découvrir l'environnement qu'il y a là à l'intérieur pour le plaisir de nos téléspectateurs. C'est dégueulasse.
Peut-être c'est le fait que le bébé était mis dans le sac.
Dans le sac, dans le seau. Mais écoutez, le bébé a survécu. Pendant que le bébé est dans le WC, en réalité, Dieu le protège. Parce que le bébé, il est innocent. Il n'a pas commis de péché. Il est l'agneau. Alors, par ma foi, je comprends que c'est la haute puissance du Seigneur Jésus-Christ qui a fait en sorte que cet enfant soit sauvé des ténèbres.
Okay.
Et voilà, la femme va tout simplement, sa maman va tout simplement répondre devant la loi des hommes et devant la loi de Dieu, parce qu'elle ne pourra pas échapper à cela, mais toujours est-il que le pardon est possible pour elle et c'est possible qu'elle se repente.
Okay. Thank you, Etape. Thank you to televiewers of My Media Prime for watching this other edition of the program, which was produced for us by Christain Tebong. We had Boh Elvis on the line to Yawunde to tell us about the situation of the Senate, the third legislature that opened yesterday in Yawunde. We are hoping to be back tomorrow with more on what the newspapers must have carried in Cameroon. Etape, Quentin, and myself, Lasha Kingsley, were here for the presentation this morning. Bye-bye.